Cold at the touch, dead in the eyes. No signs of life no more. I put your love under the knife. Leave me to die here all alone. No signs of life no more, no. A crying dove may never fly. Black and white. Yeah. Black and white. Oh, 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 oh. It's black and white. No more. Love, no more, baby. Black and white, no more, baby. Love, no more, baby. It's black and white. Just let me go. It's only right. For all I know, it's only matter. It's calico, it's black and white, 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 white. Just let me go, it's only right. For all I know, it's only matter. It's calico, it's black and white, 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 white. Black and white. Yeah. Black and white. Oh, 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 oh. It's black and white.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to another Sunday night showdown for the NEXXTCAR Racing League. Tonight, the Truck Series is heading to Newton, Iowa to take on the Iowa Speedway. Last week at Indy, we saw Tuck go to victory lane in back-to-back weeks. Tonight is the first race of the NEXXTCAR playoffs. Who, below that cutoff line for round one, will be able to rally here for the next two races and advance to round number 2. At the beginning of this season, we said this was going to be the greatest season ever in NEXXTCAR history, and these drivers have not disappointed as we have now moved on to the second part of the NEXXTCAR season. 17 drivers started the season with hopes and dreams of winning the NEXXTCAR Truck Series Championship, but only 12 still have those hopes alive tonight. Who will be the next driver to be crowned the NEXXTCAR Truck Series Champion? It all starts right here, right now. It's time for some playoff racing. There's no other track on the schedule like it, and there's no other league out there like this one. This is the NEXXTCAR Racing League.
Above it all, untouchable, a new enemy.
Major contact. Nick saves it. They're going to make it 3 wide. Tennessee 3 wide. Romo making it 4 wide. 4 wide here at Bristol, Sean. I never thought we would ever see that. I never thought we would ever say that here at Bristol. But they were 4 wide through 1 and 2 that last time.
This is how legends are made. I got the lightning inside me. Oh, just you watch. This is how
Evo, does he use the bumper? Trying to prevent someone from getting those extra 2 bonus points, but here comes Zach. Zach trying to make a run. Here comes Evo. He's going to drive it underneath Nick. Nick trying to block him. Evo, payback from stage 1. Evo's gonna clear him coming off the floor. Evo's gonna get the win. Nick second and Zach claiming third.
Oh, here we go through 3 and 4 for the final time. It is going to be an absolute dogfight for the win here at Michigan. 3 and 4 for the final time, and the leader's right. The leader's right. Nick Trudeau pulls away out front. He is going to get his first NEXXTCAR Cup win here in Michigan.
This is how legends are made.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to another Sunday night here with the NEXXTCAR Truck Series Racing League as they're heading to Iowa Speedway. We are joined up here in the booth once again with Dale. What's going on, buddy?
I am doing pretty good, man. How about you?
I am excited, and something that makes me extremely excited, starting tonight here, moving on through the rest of the season, we are joined by a third person in this booth broadcast. Welcome him back to NEXXTCAR. Glad to have you back, Keystone Cowboy. What's going on, buddy?
Nothing much, man. It's been a while.
Yes, it has, and the classic intro for Keystone, cracking open the cold brew. I am glad to have you back, my man.
Yeah, I had to step away from the whole PlayStation thing for a little bit. My dogs are now all at least a year old and have somewhat matured just a little bit. So trying to get them raised up, it took a little bit priority over everything else, but we got one of them that might be possibly pregnant.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, if there's anybody out there wanting full-blooded Australian Shepherds, please let me know.
All right, man. Well, you picked a great time to return, coming up here to the booth for your first time ever, stepping out of racing, coming to the booth. Tonight starts the playoffs for both the Truck Series tonight. Tomorrow is the Cup Series. Let's start off with Dale here. Dale, how have you, based on what we've seen in regular season, how do you see these playoffs going? And do you see anyone that we have seen kind of midfield to the back stepping up here now that they've made the playoffs and possibly finding themselves in the championship four?
As far as the people who have been mid-pack to kind of far back is concerned, I would honestly have to keep my eye on Topster. The past few races, he's shown that he has a great amount of speed. And from what I heard, he's very good in Cup as well. So he has the talent. It's just that he had to try and find his mark in trucks. And it almost seems like he's starting to make that mark. And with that now being playoff season, maybe this is his time to shine and show the rest of the field that he is capable of making it to that Final Four.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with you, but one of the guys that I'm kind of picking right now, he finds himself sitting in 5th right now, but that is D-Blood. The man has shown speed. He knows how to get it done, and he constantly is finding himself up there running in the front. He has not really been able to, quote-unquote, finish these races, but he constantly finds himself up there in the thick of things, and no more than at Michigan. I mean, the man was literally one corner away from winning, and he just got it taken away from him. But I definitely think D-Blood is going to be one that obviously we are going to be keeping an eye on as the season progresses. But let's go ahead and get 2 of your drivers in here for our pre-race interview. That is Tennessee Titan, your regular season champion, and then Tuck, who went back-to-back last week at Indy. So let's get them in here and let's see what they have to say heading into tonight's race. Tennessee, you there, buddy?
I'm here, Ronnie.
All right, man. Regular season championship. How does that affect you heading into not only the entire rest of these playoffs, but heading into round number 1 here, where it's Iowa this week and Talladega next week?
Builds a lot of confidence, knowing I was the regular season champion this year. It gives me a bunch of playoff points and a lot of momentum hitting the playoffs. I definitely need it after the last 2 weeks. But it's an interesting round. You've got the wild card at Talladega, and then you got tonight at Iowa. But should be pretty chill round for me. I just got to make sure I just keep running like I know how to and stay out of trouble at Dega, and we should be okay. So I'm not saying it's going to be a cakewalk, but just stay out of trouble and be careful these 2 weeks, and we should be good to go.
Absolutely, yes, sir. And you mentioned momentum. Let's talk about the man who is riding that momentum high into the playoffs. That is Tuck going. Let's talk to the man who is riding. What the hell, Discord? I don't know what's going on with Discord. All right, let's try this for a third time. Let's talk to the man that knows exactly what momentum is heading into the playoffs, going back-to-back wins last week at Indy. What's going on, Tuck?
What's going on, Ronnie? Had a little technical stuff there, but I got you.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this thing. But anyway, 2 back-to-back wins at Indy, holding off King Henry in the closing laps. How does that give you momentum here heading into round 1?
Oh, it just brings a lot of confidence. I mean, going into these playoffs, getting back-to-back wins, builds momentum. So I think going into Iowa, going to have to use maybe a little bit of strategy, try to get some stage points, and hopefully up there at the end of the race.
Absolutely, yes, sir. And best of luck to both of you guys. And who knows, we might be talking to you guys at the end one of these victory lane.
We'll see how it goes.
All right, so there you go, Dale. Let's start off with you. We just heard from 2 of the drivers here. How do you think that Tuck is going to be able to really carry in that momentum from back-to-back wins after holding off an impressive attack from King? I mean, he had the block for his life there in those closing laps.
Well, I mean, he mentioned his confidence. I mean, King's a very fast driver, and he was able to block him, defend the lead, and was able to win the race. And it brings a lot of confidence being able to do that against someone who's very strong. And with that confidence, in turn comes momentum, and you're going to try to ride that momentum as far as you can and hope it gives you a few more positions that you might have not gotten if you didn't have that momentum.
Absolutely. Let's hear from our other driver that is joining the booth, Keystone. How does momentum affect you in the car?
Well, honestly, it makes you feel like Superman if you have enough of it. If coming off back-to-back wins, I know Tuck. I've known him for a while. He's definitely a damn good racer. I remember him, running here in Iowa before. He definitely knows his way around this place, and obviously, Talladega. As long as you're within the top 3 or 4 spots, anybody can win there. So, as good of a driver as he is, the momentum's up, the confidence is high enough. He definitely has a chance to sweep the first round.
Oh, absolutely. And Tuck is a very consistent driver. I mean,
yes,
these last 2 races, Tuck, he definitely has clutched it for himself. I mean, he found himself back there fighting a little bit above that cutoff line. I mean, he just joined full-time here in the Truck Series a couple weeks ago, and then winning back-to-back races. Now he comes into the first race of the playoffs, sitting currently in second in the standings. So it don't get much better than that.
No, Martin, Mr. Consistency.
Absolutely, and consistency will win you championships. But let's go ahead and meet.
It didn't mark.
I'm sorry?
It didn't mark.
You ain't wrong. Mark is definitely one of the greatest NASCAR drivers of all time to never win that championship.
Him and Neil Bonnet are at the top of the list.
Absolutely. 100%. Well, let's go ahead and let's meet your 17 drivers who started this season off with the hopes and dreams of fighting for that championship. Now, only 12 have been able to rise above the rest and move into the playoffs. But let's meet your drivers.
Take your battle stations. I ain't on vacation, I'm just glowing up, living out aspirations. I beat the expectations and change the generations. And I'm still jumping fences, and you're just imitation. They're all in second places, but I don't live for praises. I play this life like a game, levels and stages. Let me paraphrases, then do a couple pages. Watch this, watch this, watch this. Let me introduce you to a brand new thing. No one gotta prove to. You're looking at the king. This life may choose you, so raise your wings. Watch this, watch this, watch this. This is a brand new thing. Let me introduce you to a brand new thing. No one gotta prove to. You're looking at the king. This life may choose you, so raise your wings. Watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this. This is a brand new thing.
Alright. Just making sure.
All right, so round number 1 of these playoffs at Iowa. A little bit of a track that we don't really know a whole lot about with these guys. We haven't seen the Truck Series come here a whole lot, but something that these guys are going to have to keep an eye on is that seam in the high line.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of drivers hit it. You said you might have been one of them. I definitely was one. It's you hit that, it will send your truck around, and I mean, if you avoid it, obviously it'll make your day a whole lot better. But it's not that easy, especially with your truck getting a little looser as the run goes on, and yeah, you just might not expect it sometimes, and it just sends you around.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's go ahead and check out your playoff standings. Obviously, Tennessee Titan finding himself up at the top, your regular season champion and your defending series champion. So finding himself right here, exactly where he was last season, and looking to grab that second championship. But we talked about it, Tuck riding that momentum high into the playoffs, winning back-to-back races. He found himself back in that playoff cutoff line, but winning 2 in a row. He now finds himself sitting in second. Pierce Posse third. Nick having a very consistent season. He doesn't have any wins so far, but he finds himself sitting fourth with D-Blood rounding out your top 5.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, if there's anybody that's going to upset Tuck's little, run here, it's going to be Tennessee. If it tonight in Iowa, I distinctly remember me and him having one of the greatest finishes at this track. I'm talking both of us sideways coming across the front stretch taking the checkered flag. So he definitely knows how to get it done here.
Yeah, but I will even say this. You can't even count out Pierce Posse because last season, if you remember correctly, he
is awesome.
Yeah, he dominated that track. And even the season before, he showed speed. Like, he was leading a bunch of laps. So, yeah, 10 is someone to watch out for. But Pierce might be a little bit more of a bigger factor.
Maybe Nick will remember how to drive tonight. I mean...
But, yeah, though, Nick can most definitely play spoiler. He's not necessarily had racing speed, but he definitely seems like he has the potential to be that driver who, at some point, he can just turn it on and he can battle for that win.
But, yeah, I mean, this track, it's obviously a short track. The bankings are a little bit slick, as Ronnie was talking about watching the seams. You got to have a little bit of speed here, but you also got to manage those tires because if you catch those seams, it breaks free a little bit. You'll start wearing that right rear down. Plus, determining, the line that you take, the high line or the low line, depends on how much you're going to wear that right front tire out. So you definitely got to try to find a balance between speed and tires here.
Yep, for sure.
So something I really want to talk about is coming into this first round here, we have got 2 winners right now sitting below the round cutoff. That is Gordon and Buckstopper. They come in sitting 9th and 10th with those 1 win apiece. So, they won, but they didn't really put together a extremely solid regular season. Do you see those guys turning it around here? I'm going to ask you, Dale, because I don't know, Keystone, if you really paid a whole lot of attention prior to this. But, Dale, do you see those two turning it around here now that they have made the playoffs and finding themselves moving on to the second round?
Gordon, maybe. First, I do want to say they are loading into the lab right now, it looks like. So
They're qualifying now. Qualifying.
Oh, they're qualifying?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. But, I'm tripping out then. But Gordon, I can definitely potentially see, because his one win was at Atlanta. That was fuel mileage.
Right.
If it goes to a fuel mileage,
Gordon?
yeah, Kurt McKinney. If it turns into fuel mileage race, for sure, watch for him. But he hasn't shown all that much speed, so I don't know. And when it comes to Buckstopper, he hasn't shown he has had that much speed. But Talladega, a track that, it's a plate track. He won Daytona.
Absolutely.
So he's definitely one to watch for sure at Talladega. So I honestly expect him to turn it around at that track.
Yeah, I mean, I've raced with Kurt before, multiple leagues. So a track like Iowa, definitely, sometimes you got to have strategy. And I know the guys that Kurt run around in another league. They raced very, very well together, teaming up, coming up with strategies and setting the cars up and stuff like that. And I can personally say that in the last year, he has definitely improved on all aspects of his driving. So the fact that he's only 4 points back, he can definitely turn it around at a track like this. And again, like he was talking about Talladega, I mean, it's as long as you're there at the end. I mean, it's a coin flip. You're either going to get it or you're not.
Absolutely. And
Believe me, I was there many times and couldn't get it.
Yeah, I hear you on that one. You were talking about Iowa. Let's check out your track details for tonight. It is a 0.875 mile track, so not even a full mile. 12 to 14 degree bankings, 200 laps here, 60 laps in stages 1 and 2. Stage 3 is 80. Pit speed limit is 40 mile an hour, and these guys can go 31 to 33 laps on a fuel run. So it's a short track,
That's awesome.
but it doesn't exactly race like a short track. Yes, there's some beating and banging, but it's a little bit of an intermediate.
Yes, it is. It's almost like Richmond and Bristol put together. And pit road, I mean, because there's not a whole lot of banking here, honestly, the less banking you have, the more difficult it is to get on and off pit road, because the more you can spin the tires. Believe me, I've seen somebody spin out 16 times in one race trying to get on and off pit road. And no, it was not Nick.
Good.
But, yeah. But seriously, I mean, it can be, whenever, especially if like you're pumped up, you just got a great stop, you're going to get out in front of somebody or be close to the front. You want to get back in that throttle as soon as you can. You catch that seam from the apron to the racetrack at the wrong spot with too much throttle, you will spin out. Same thing getting on the pit road. You hit it too hard. You hit the brakes too hard coming off that little bit of the angle, and you can also spin out and get into pit road.
Yeah, Iowa's pit road is not that easy to get into. I was practicing with Beers right before this race, and I went down on pit road. I got a speeding penalty. That's not necessarily a surprise, especially the Yuki zone, since you know how much I sped last season. But it's definitely definitely tough to get onto it. And not only that though, but yeah, I guess it's only that. Yeah, it's very tough. It's something that these drivers are going to definitely have to keep that on their minds when they're making reflag stops, if we see them, which how this current season has gone, we're going to see one at least. But, also qualifying is over. It looks like the famed person of Nick got pole position.
Wow.
King Henry got second, and
they let
Nick
get that pole. They let him get it. But let's check out the keys to victory real quick. Number 1, watch out for the seam on that high line. Number 2, pit road incidents. We just talked about it. This is a bear of a pit road to get onto, especially if you try to get on pit road a little too early and you're still going through 3 and 4. That's just asking you to spin that truck out. And number 3 is you've got to be smart. 200 laps. It's a long race. So these guys have got to move on from any incidents that may occur and put it behind them and try to set themselves up to finish the race.
Yes, because as you said, this is a 0.8 mile track. It's not very long. I mean, these laps run by quick. If something happens, you mess up on pit road, or you spin out by yourself catching one of those catching the apron or catching one of them seams, you go a lap down. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But it can be hard to come back if you get laps down here because it just ticks away so quick.
Yeah. Yeah, and like even if you do spin out, it's also something because of how short it is. It's kind of easy to lose your composure and try to get up to speed super quickly, or trying to rush things and you making another mistake again.
Yeah.
Like these guys are not perfect at all. No one is. So they're bound to make other mistakes. Only the great drivers.
Harder, and you get yourself worse off.
Gotcha.
All right.
I have Pierce, honestly. It might be recency bias, but he has a lot of speed, and I'm sure he still does. And this is his hometown track, so I think he's gonna get it done.
Honestly, I gotta go with my man Peyton, Tennessee. I mean, like I said, me and him's had some great battles at this track. I know he knows this track very, very well. I mean, I know so does Tuck, so does Trenton. I mean, so does Nick. As many times as he's ran it, he should know this track pretty well. But, Tennessee, he always finds himself, as long as it's not his own fault making mistakes, he'll find himself there at the end, and I can honestly see him capitalizing.
Absolutely, and the green flag is out with Nick and King easily pulling away here. But someone I want to point out real quick before we get too deep into this race is the new driver in that number 24 Hooters.com Chevy Silverado. Sports Legend 89 making his return to NEXXTCAR as well. So Keystone and Sports making their return in the same week.
Nick actually gave up to 24.
He did, yeah. He wanted to go back to that 3 truck where he won the first 2 championships in.
So he's just tired of losing, and he wanted to, he thought switching trucks is the reason why.
Absolutely. And I'll be honest, he's looking pretty good here right now. I guess he was ready for the playoffs because I'll be honest, we didn't really see great speed out of Nick this season. He did have that 1 win in the column, but it didn't, 1, come from him, and 2, he just hasn't had that real consistency that we're used to seeing out of that 3 truck. But tonight, it looks like he might be ready to start these playoffs on the good foot.
That purple truck right behind him, though.
Yeah, that is King Henry. He is an extremely fast driver and a very aggressive driver, so that's going to be someone that is not shy with that front bumper, especially here at Iowa, where you do a little beating and banging.
Yeah.
I've ran with him in another league before.
We have one guy up against that outside wall coming out of 2. I believe that was the 20 truck, if I'm not mistaken, of Jay Black.
I don't know, but we still have a battle for the lead. 16 is still right alongside of the 3. The 2 trucks are closing in on him. Same thing with the 4 truck.
Yeah, you're right. It was the 20. I believe he's just getting back into throttle a little bit too soon, and it's riding up and catching the wall and corner exit a little bit. Turn 4 is very, very tricky here sometimes because it doesn't look like the turn ends as quick as it actually does. It's almost like Chicagoland, the curved backstretch. You will catch yourself off guard multiple times if you don't pay attention.
Yep. Meanwhile, we had a pass for the lead. The 16 truck ended up getting around the 3 truck.
Yeah, he did. Nick's trying to make that high line work a little bit here, but it's not kicking in yet.
The thing I've collected from racing here at this track before in general is that in the beginning of the run, the outside, at least on turns 3 and 4, it works for like maybe the first 5 to 10 laps, but it fades away because it's so like tricky to navigate, and you can spin out, especially if you hit that seam in turns 3 and 4. Turns 1 and 2, you can run it for like longer, but the same thing ends up happening to it. You can still make up ground, but you can still spin out from it. And
go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know how long in the run. I think they're about 8 laps in. That high line in turns 3 and 4 is about to fade away soon, so you might see all the drivers migrating to the bottom.
Absolutely, and yes, G-Pre, that is the legendary Keystone you are hearing. Yes, sir, making his return. But yeah, King picking up, I know last week at Indy, he was battling hard with Tuck for that win. Tuck not giving it to him, and I know he was a little upset, King Henry was, because that is his home track at Indy. So, he's got a little bit of vengeance going here into tonight's race. He knows he's not in the playoffs, but he's still fighting for those points.
Spoiler alerts, yes. And that's what makes NASCAR so much different than the other sports. People who have no chance at championships, they still race and still do their thing in the playoffs when all the other teams, all the other sports, they're sitting at home watching. Not these guys. They want to prove their worth that, hey, these later tracks, because usually, just like NASCAR, you usually have the same tracks in the playoffs. Most people use the same tracks, or similar tracks in their playoffs year in and year out on these games too. So it's like they also, even if they don't have a chance of winning the championship, they want to sit there and prove them, to themselves and everybody else. If I could just get there, if I could just get to the playoffs, I can win at these tracks and I can be in contention for a championship.
Absolutely, but the guy that is riding that momentum right now currently is running in 6th, so he's got a little bit of work to do as D-Blood's up there in 5th, closing in on Tennessee there for 4th. But yeah, Tuck, he's kind of, I don't want to say he's struggling here to start this race, but it just doesn't seem like he has that truck set up properly. So he's definitely one of the best ones here on the slider, so I look forward to him getting that truck tuned up here during his first caution.
Yes.
Yeah, and right behind him, Topster, I mentioned it before. I was looking to see if he can bring in some speed here in the playoffs, and he might be trying to prove that he can. I mean, I know he started kind of deep in the field and is all right battling for 6, so it's good to see him battling the 52 truck.
Absolutely.
Still here parking, I apologize.
And the guy right behind them is Buckstopper in that 12. One of the guys we were just talking about, not really showing a whole lot of speed in the regular season, but maybe he's like Nick where, hey, I made the playoffs. It's time to go racing. And he's currently finding himself right now riding around in the 9th position. So,
yeah.
I'm sorry, the 8th position.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, we've honestly seen him ride around mostly in the tail end. It's kind of been between him and maybe James Snell if he were racing. But he's in front of someone like Gordon who, like I mentioned before, he's not the fastest, but he definitely has some speed. I think he's also in front of J-Black, who showed some speed last week, as well as other races as well. So honestly, this is kind of a good sign for him.
And also, he was talking about the fuel, fuel and pit strategies. Fuel, you said, 31 to 33 laps?
Correct.
60 laps in the stage. Who knows? Maybe these guys that's running 7th, 8th, 9th, they might be trying to save their tires to make sure they last that entire fuel run, so they only have to make one stop this stage.
Oh yeah, I agree with that, and it's weird to see that 11 truck all the way back here as well. So maybe, yeah, they're maybe trying that saving strategy a little bit here. But we got a big battle here between the 51 and 52. It just continues on getting better, as now the 51's going to try that high line and put Tuck down below here. So some of these guys are running. As Tuck's going to get on that seat a little bit coming out of 2. So does Buckstopper into 12. They both save it. Oh, a little bit of contact there into 3 and 4.
You're definitely going to beat and bang here. I mean, there's no way getting around it. I mean, just the different lines, the different arches, the way you take different corners, the different laps, the seam also. I mean, contact is inevitable. It's contact, here is Thanos.
Oh, absolutely.
I am inevitable.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Now, what might not be completely unbelievable is that Nick's not in first anymore, but he's also not in second or third. Pierce and D-Blood have both gone around him, and 10 is trying to make his way get into fourth.
Yep, Trenton's definitely making his way forward.
Yeah, and he's not letting King Henry out of his sights. It almost seems like he's staying with him.
Oh yeah, see, Trenton, it will surprise you. You'll sit here, you will work your way to the front. It looks like you're starting to pull away, and then you start looking in that mirror, and you'll notice him creep closer and closer.
Ooh.
And it's a mind game.
Oh,
He
Nick
knows how to
wall.
do it. Ooh.
Nothing happened with Jay Black. He's I think in the sights of the 16 truck, and yeah, he's in the sights of the 16 truck, and he was not last before, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but he is struggling, or something happened to him. But I'm pretty sure something happened to him because I saw him on the apron in the back straight. So I don't know.
Also, it also depends on, one big thing about the whole slaughters, it depends on your level of comfort. How far are you willing to go? How loose of a vehicle can you control? Because I know me, Tennessee, Tuck, Nick, we'll all run slider 9s here. We don't care. But also, later in the run, the more racing you do, those tires start getting slicker and slicker, and you're going to start slipping more and more. So, I mean, all this stuff comes into effect here at this track. I mean, it's an awesome track. It really is. It's one of the few that tests you in multiple ways at multiple times throughout the race.
Absolutely. And something that's going to get real interesting here is when these two, talking about King and Pierce, when they do catch up, if they do, to Jay Black, and just how interesting these lines are. And it'll be cool to see where Jay Black goes, and if he just kind of pulls off and lets these leaders go, or if he kind of makes them go to the high line here. But here comes Pierce in the 2.
Yeah, Jay Black should be in the playoffs. Yeah, he's in the playoffs.
Yeah, Jay Black is in the playoffs.
That makes it a little bit different then.
Right.
As a playoff driver, hey, I need to stay on the lead lap.
Yep.
I can't afford this right now this early in the race. I cannot, I can't be going laps down. So maybe,
Pierce, you weren't clear, my guy.
I guess he borrowed Kyle Larson's spotter.
That was a slide job that just about did not work.
Yeah, and I don't know how much you've been paying attention with this league when you've been gone ever since King Henry's joined, but King Henry's made some rivalries, one of them being with Pierce. So even that, I don't think was on purpose, but there are still tensions with these two drivers.
Oh, absolutely. These two, they have a long history together, kind of like King does with basically anybody in this league. But here comes D-Blood now as Nick pounds the outside wall coming out of 2. He's around. Tennessee's going to miss him, though.
Oh, that toaster! Oh, no, that's probably caution.
Caution is
Someone's
out.
Down pit road. Oh, Buckstopper went down pit road.
That is going to change everything for him, and Nick's still spinning down the backstretch. Caution is out. But D-Blood in that 88, working his way now up into second.
Yeah, now obviously they haven't made their adjustments yet, and they're probably also going to go another lap before going down pit road. But you almost wonder that if this is a sign that King Henry might have a short run truck as opposed to a long run truck, unlike Pierce and D-Blood, where they might have long run trucks. Oh, the pit road's open. Interesting.
It could be, but also, I mean, even when Pierce did get around him, he stayed with him. He didn't just let him go. He battled him. Hey, I'm still here. It was still right there on his bumper. So I mean,
oh yeah, no, for sure.
Looked like his truck was starting to fall off a little bit compared to Pierce's.
Yeah, and I've talked with Pierce before this race. Like I said, I practiced with him, and he told me that he prides himself on being having his truck being a long run truck as opposed to a short run truck. And we see throughout this whole season that we've had quite a lot amount of long runs.
As it looks like, Pierce will win the battle off.
And King is going to lose a spot. Oh, no, he's going to come out third. Okay.
No.
All right. Dog, shut up.
Good.
Hold your sister, damn.
The Buckstopper taking his wave around, now restarting in the back. We thought he was going to stay on the lead lap there, but he did go a lap down when the caution came out. So that is going to give Pierce the lead. King going to the outside, and D-Blood staying on that inside line. Tennessee on the out, and the 52 of Tuck rounds out your top 5.
I don't know they're going to be going this lap. They're not.
No, I don't think they're going this lap.
I've been proven wrong with this before. I most definitely have. So
They are. They're going.
Yep.
Yep, there it is. Green flag is back in the air here at Iowa.
Pierce got a hell of a jump.
Yeah, he did.
Oh yeah. I don't think many people expected it.
That's why I love my shifter on restarts,
Yep.
man. Just the jump that you get, man. It's awesome.
Absolutely. King Henry trying to work his way back up there in a second. He is, and here comes Tennessee following him on that high side as they are going to clear the 88 of D-Blood.
Speaking of Tennessee, is he running his wheel finally?
No.
I don't think so.
He's still on his controller.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a talk with him.
He said he tried it and hated it.
Yeah. One driver I do want to bring up is Seltzer. He was involved in that last caution and dropped quite a few spots, actually, and it's all right back up battling for what I'm pretty sure is 5th with Tuck again. He made a very nice rebound.
Yep, Toaster's up here. That 51 KVM truck.
Yeah, this is going to be the time, though, where we see how good are these people's trucks, really, since now they have their setups in.
Whoa!
That's like
The
the wall.
52
Pretty
and
hard.
Gordon into the outside wall.
Yep. Going to make it a 5-truck breakaway, but yeah, we'll see how these trucks will handle now with the setups in.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting. Nick starting on the pole. Now he's got to work his way through the field here. How long does it take him to get back up there? As currently he rides around now in the 7th position.
How many laps are left?
I'm going to be able to look in a minute.
Probably about
26.
No, I'm talking about for the entire race. About 160.
Oh, yeah.
155. It'll probably take him about 170 laps.
Unfortunate. But honestly, it doesn't seem like it's going to take him that long once he gets back up with Tuck. It might take. He might be able to make up the ground before the stage ends, but I don't know if he'll be.
That Gordon's running a throwback to Steve Park or Darrell Waltrip when he was driving.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he's been running Steve Park all season long.
Not too bad. A lot of people don't recognize him, so props to Gordy. As Tennessee's looking on the inside of King Henry, but that high line momentum coming off the corners.
Yeah.
The 88 diving down again.
Yeah, this is one track that you can really carry that momentum off the high line, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Here, Richmond, and just a couple others, that's one thing that they did get right for
this
that track.
High line momentum here, I would not have won that race against Tennessee.
Oh, yeah, I remember. That was 2 seasons ago. That was the race I got wrecked at by Evo. Forgot about that.
Not. Surely not.
Yeah, no, what am I talking about? I'm tripping. I'm sorry. I didn't get wrecked by Evo. I just ran out of town. But, no, that race honestly ended interesting. We'll see if this race will end about as interesting as that did.
It ended the same way that today did. There was a late race caution. We was able to make pit stops. We had the lines. I think we were both on the outside. And we just used the fresh tires, the high line. We literally slung-shotted everybody and got to the front, and then there was another caution, and it just, me and him stayed 1-2 for the last 2 or 3 laps, and
yeah,
it was a hell of a finish.
Yeah, I was up there. I got wrecked, and the manual caution came out. I could not. There was no way I was able to make up the time, but yeah, no, that was a pretty good race. Well, like I said, though, hopefully this race could live up to that expectation, because I'll be honest, last season's race, there weren't that many people, and as a result, there was barely any caution, so it wasn't that eventful of a race, but hopefully this will become an eventful race. I will say, though, the one thing that is eventful right now is this battle for second.
Yeah, these guys are laying it out on the line right now, but all that is doing is allowing Pierce in the 2 to pull away.
Yep.
But yeah, D-Blood finds himself up here battling that 16. Now they're kind of leaving Tennessee a little bit back there, but he held on there for a little bit, and he'll be right back up there. But yeah, D-Blood, what a turnaround so far here today he's had. I mean, he came into this race finding himself 5th in the playoffs points, but now he's up here battling for 2nd.
Well, see, if you're going to run that 88 Matt Crafton truck, you definitely have to be there at the end. I mean, that was Matt Crafton, multiple time, Truck Series champion. So, yeah, if you're going to run that paint scheme, you definitely got to have some talent. It looks like just to be able to work his way back up here, fighting, battling, not letting these guys get out of his sight. He's paying homage to Matt Crafton.
Absolutely, and talk about someone else. Is there a caution?
There has to be.
There is. Yep, everybody's stopping, so we
What's
obviously.
the caution
Is it old school? He's
I
far
think
back.
so,
There was a spin out on the front stretch somewhere. Old school, yeah, he's trying to catch himself back up here.
Yeah, I think it was with old school.
So Nick has found his way back up to 6th with Tuck still in 7th behind him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tuck.
Tuck had that confidence, but it's
Tuck's
not working out right now.
He's got to be saving his truck. He's got to be just biding his time. I've never seen him stay that far back, that consistent.
It could also be that even when they pitted, or when they first pitted, they were still gonna be right there on the strategy. So maybe he was trying to save a little bit for that. But with them pitting now, there's no reason to save.
Oh yeah, pedal to the metal, wide the hell open from here on out.
Yep. But while these guys are doing their caution pit stops, we are going to step away here for a quick 30-second break. Don't go anywhere. You will not miss any of the action here in this side-by-side NEXXTCAR Racing League.
Cold at the touch, dead in the eyes. No signs of life no more. I put your love under the knife. Leave me to die here all alone. No signs of life no more, no. A crying dove may never fly.
Alright, welcome back here to the Truck Series. James Snow staying out once again on 2 tires here.
Yep.
Coming to the green flag. D-Blood 2nd. Pierce is going to get a great launch, though. A great restart for that 2 truck.
But not for the rest
But
of that.
not for that 22 truck. He just stacked up everybody as they had to try and work their way around him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that
Meanwhile,
22 truck try this strategy last week. It didn't work out for him then, and it ain't working out for him now.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's gonna work about as well as being able to make the wall move in this game.
Yeah.
You have to find a specific time to do it, specific lap, the specific stage and all that stuff. It's very difficult, but it can work.
It can, like I said, at certain times. 20 laps to go, I still think it's a little bit too early. If it was 5 to 10, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, and they crossed the line at 14 to go. That was too much time.
But also, you also got to figure out what's going to work and what's not going to work. You're on the lead lap now. Obviously, unless something crazy happens, you're safe, for the first stage. Why not try it? See if it's going to work and put that knowledge to use at the end of the race.
Absolutely. Try it
That's
now
true.
when you don't really have a whole lot to lose. And then, if it works, put it in the back of your brains. We got a big battle here between Tennessee and D-Blood for 3rd.
It's like 4th downs in the NFL and in college football. If it works, you're a genius. If not, then better luck next time.
Yep. The only difference with this is that if it's going to go like last week did, it's not going to be the first time he tries this 2-stop strategy, even if doesn't work.
And he's probably going to stay out a time or two as well. So
yeah, he did that too.
He is not shy about not pitting. That is for damn sure. But Nick and Tuck find themselves once again in a side-by-side battle right now.
Has Tuck taken the place of the rivalry between you and Nick?
A little bit, but not as aggressive. Yeah, that rivalry definitely hit a little bit of a boiling point there at Indy last week. I am not gonna lie, but
I can't imagine it.
yeah, it was. Yeah, not gonna go into detail, but yeah, it was not a good one. But yeah, these two definitely here in the Truck Series have always seemed to find themselves running side by side. But like you were saying,
it's not like Nick holds grudges or anything, so I mean, it should be okay.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, Tuck finds himself back in set. He's back into the wall coming through the front stretch. But
yeah, Tuck is struggling.
Yeah, he is.
Definitely.
But someone who is not struggling right now is that 2 truck. He is starting to really kind of pull away as these guys are running side by side here. Tennessee looking to that inside. Can't make it work, but King making that high line work off these exits.
Yeah, and like King's not, they haven't really even been side by side all that much as 10 almost hits the wall.
Mm-hmm.
But they haven't been side by side that much. But Pierce is still kind of pulling away. Not that much, but it's still enough to actually make a difference.
Mm-hmm. And see where I think Tennessee's kind of, he's. It looks like he's trying different lines. He's not sure what his truck's doing right now, because the lap before turns 3 and 4, he was down all the way on the apron. Turns 1 and 2, he was up high. Then this past lap on 1 and 2, he was probably midway through.
Yeah.
He came back up on the high side the next lap. Now he's back down low again. It's just he's trying different lines.
Yeah, and it's like we mentioned with James Snow, it's important to kind of test all this stuff out because it's early in the race. And, the early adverts knowledge, the better, it'll be. Oh, look at this. James Snow is getting lapped down here. And did he just crash?
Probably. Yes, he did. He is against that inside wall. Everyone's going to make it through.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he just pulled up in front of Buck Stopper.
That's
going to be a
bad. Buck Stopper just went down pit road. Oh, no.
Buck Stopper. But that is going to be a caution, I believe. Yeah,
that was pretty. I'll be honest, that was pretty bad on James Snow part.
Back down pit road.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you saw what exactly happened.
Oh yeah,
Ronnie,
he pulled up right in front of him, and he went up into the outside wall and came back down the track. Buck Stopper did.
Yeah, that's not necessarily.
The buck stops here.
That's unfortunate. But yeah, that was pretty.
I had to.
Wait, is there no caution?
There is no caution. There is no caution. They are going to run out the rest of this stage and then let Buck Stopper get his lap back at the beginning of stage 2. So when stage 2 starts, they will not be going green. They will do another lap, and then they will drop the green flag. They are,
how many laps
I believe they are within the caution limit here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That sucks, but I'm glad that they're doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 laps to go. So, yeah.
Yeah, 2 laps to go. So that is why there is no manual caution. Because they do cut it off at 5. But, yes, Kat, this is Keystone up here in the booth. But white flag is out here at Iowa for stage number 1.
I do got to give a quick shout out as it looks like we're about to finish this stage here. Quick shout out to G-Pre, Mr. Brandon Taylor. I will actually finally get to meet him next month at Talladega Super Speedway. We're going to be sitting right next to each other for the race.
Nice.
That's awesome.
His family and mine, we're going to get up early in the morning. He's going to bring his grill. We're going to do some cooking and some drinking. We're going to have us a good old damn time.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'd like to meet some people personally in this league. Unfortunately, it just hasn't really worked out that way. But
I went down there last year for the April race, and he was on call, unfortunately. So did not get a chance to meet him, but this year we're definitely going to make it happen.
yeah, that's awesome, man. That is awesome. You know, and something that Brandon did, I'm a dig into his little personal life here a little bit, but the man drove a NASCAR car at Talladega a week ago.
Yes,
That
he
is
did.
an
And guess who else
absolutely
is going to be
incredible
doing it?
experience.
Guess who else is going to be doing it come September at Talladega?
Nice.
Oh boy.
Yes, I am.
Hell yeah. But remember,
I'm gonna be
these
like
guys
Ricky
are not
Bobby.
going racing here at the start of this stage. They're letting the 12 of Buckstopper get his lap back. Once he catches up, then they will go back racing. Unless he wrecks the
I'm gonna
field
be
here.
like, yeah, no kidding. You gotta be careful with that.
Now the question is, I don't know, is he 1 or 2 laps down? Because I know he never necessarily got the free passes. That was James Snow, according to the game. So
I think he was just one.
this one, gotcha. I knew he wasn't that far back, but with how Iowa is, I just had to ask.
Right, absolutely. No, he was just 1 lap down.
Man, these guys are.
They're going through 3
And
and
he-
4. Now it's going to be close, I think, on if he makes it.
Yeah, they might still go. And honestly, if they still go, I'm just fully expecting
They are not
to pull
going.
Kyle Busch.
They are not
They're
going.
not going. So does he have another
Oh,
lap?
he must be.
Yeah, he's
oh,
having
he's getting another
lap.
lap back. Okay.
Yeah. I thought he was
Sorry,
2
race
laps
control
down.
telling me he was 1 lap down. So they must have looked
Race
in
control-
once he passed him.
Race control must have. I don't know what race control is
Yeah.
on, but I mean that's
Yeah.
a no-no.
But they are going this time. Pierce Posse winning stage number 1. Can he get it done here in stage number 2? King on his outside. The 88 of D-Blood and Tennessee make up row number 2 with the 51 of Topster and the 3 of Nick making up row number 3. Here he comes. He
88.
is caught back up.
88 showing a lot of speed here. 88 has honestly had his moments through the season. So it's honestly pretty great to see him back up front with these leaders, as he most definitely has shown that he can definitely battle for wins. Especially battling for that Rookie of the Year as well.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's something that I've kind of forgotten a little bit here as the season has progressed, is D-Blood is a rookie here in NEXXTCAR. You know, the man, like you said, has shown speed. He comes into the season the highest in the rookie class, sitting in the playoff standings. So he knows how to get it done, and when his league came here a couple nights ago, he won. So I know he knows how to get it done here at Iowa, and he is showing exactly what it takes, as we see several drivers down on that apron. The 24 Sports Legend, he's going to save it though, but a lot of guys getting down on that apron right there and making some great saves.
Oh, here comes Tennessee and King Henry trying to take that number 1 spot away from Pierce, but it looks like he's going to hold on to it for at least another half a lap.
Yeah, King Henry's truck seems very great on the on the short run, so that's gonna be something to watch.
Here comes Titan.
Yeah, I want to point out King Henry gave a bumper a little bit to Pierce in turns 3 and 4.
3 wide.
Wow, 3 wide for the lead. This is gonna be interesting.
They're going to make it work though.
Oh,
Pierce is only going
Make
to
it-
lose 1 spot out of that. That was pretty good.
Well,
I thought for sure Peyton was going to throw the block on him.
I think personally, because those two have a lot of respect for each other.
Oh,
I think he's
absolutely.
not gonna. I don't think he's willing to throw the block on Pierce just yet, with how kind of early it still is in the stage.
Right.
True.
Now 5 laps to go in the race, that's a completely different
Oh, yeah.
story. Is now he kind of threw a little bit of a block there, but
This track, if it's 15 to go, I'm throwing
oh,
blocks.
100%.
Oh, you have to. I mean, 15 laps to go. Might as well.
Yep.
Because it's like, what, 24?
Very wide again.
And here comes King
24
through the
second laps
middle.
here.
Did he just? I couldn't see if he bumped the 4
I
or just.
don't think he
missed him.
did, because Tennessee
I
didn't
think-
get out of line there.
And look
Yeah,
who's behind King Henry. That number 3 truck.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Looks like he's starting to work his way back up.
Oh,
as
we
it
got
looks
contact
like
between Gordon and the 24 Sports Legend behind this pack of 6. They're going to keep it going straight. The green flag stays. But yeah, like you were just saying, Keystone, the 3 and the 52 find themselves up there in the top 6 right now.
The 22 just smacked the outside wall in turns 1 and 2. I was just saying, though. Yeah, I'm not surprised either. He's about to do it in turn 3. Almost looks like he's wall banging, honestly. Because he made up a decent amount of ground on what I think is buck stopper. I think he might be wall banging here. Let's see if he does it again. Nah, he didn't do it again. He didn't do it again, but he did it for that last lap. I was just saying, I couldn't see the 16 and what he did to the 4 truck, which is why I was questioning it. But I saw he backed away when he was getting close to the 4. Up there's wall banging 22 again.
Good. But yeah, Toaster and Nick and that 52 at Tuck running bumper to bumpers. Nick is now up on that high line, but the 51 of Toaster is going to make the pass through 1 and 2, trying to use that bottom line. Nick's going to get a decent run, though, with that draft, but here comes that 52. Once again, those two find themselves running side by side here at Iowa.
The 2 truck ended up getting around the 16.
Me and G-Free was always side by side. Me, if I wasn't next to Brandon, it was Tennessee. At some point, literally all the way through season, all the way through seasons 2 and 3, I was always beside Brandon and Peyton. I could not get away from them.
Yeah. Oh, the 88 just put the 16 in the wall a little bit.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit of word from race control here that there's some bumpers getting ready to be used. The 3 has just told Tuck he's going to dump him if he doesn't stop racing him side by side. So I guess, Keystone, you just mentioned, is that the new me and Nick rivalry for the Truck Series? It sure sounded like it.
I'll be honest with you, almost kind of sounded like King Henry there when he told Peyton to move out the way.
Yeah, right.
In his first 2 races.
What you need to do tomorrow, though, then, Ronnie, is you need to drive the 50. You need to make a 52 car for Cup Series.
There it is.
and just mess with Nick.
There it is.
I'm sure Tuck would get a good laugh out of that, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a good looking 3 car.
Though,
I will give him props for that. That 3 truck looks great.
Andy Blood.
Looks like he tried to get underneath him.
Yeah, and let's not forget Michigan. D Blood kind of sent it in there and moved Pierce. He said it's on accident, but it ended up giving Peyton the win. And while Pierce isn't necessarily upset at him, he still probably has that in the back of his mind, so he's probably not going to give him that much luck at all, especially since it's playoffs.
Right, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely on each other right now.
Oh, Tennessee really loose coming out of 2 there that time. Yeah, no, I mean, you're not going to cut that guy a whole lot of slack right now in the playoffs because, every point does matter more than ever. So, but you're going to have to be careful with it because you don't want to give that guy an opportunity, say, next week or in the championship 4 to retaliate and take yourself out of that position to advance. So you got to be a little careful with it as well.
Yeah, and with next week is Talladega, anything can happen. If you don't get that many points on this race, you don't know if you're going to get many points next week. Right. So you want to be way more safe than sorry.
Oh, we got the 24 round on the front stretch.
16 also bumped the wall.
Yeah. 24
the 20, the 1, the 24. They all kind of looked like they were a little involved in all that. I'm not sure what happened. I just saw the 24 lose it there coming through the tri-oval. But let's get back up to the front where Pierce is all over the back bumper. Big move by Pierce out of 4.
Yeah, he's taking no prisoners right now. He is trying to get back into the lead.
Run.
Yeah, we've seen this. I mean, you've broadcasted it. I was actually in the race. Actually, my last race before I moved up here in the booth. But at Vegas, Pierce had a very fast car as well. And he swept both stations, but still ultimately ended up losing to Dupree when he subbed it for what I believe was more. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure that's probably also in the back of his mind as well. So, because he thinks he has the best car, he's the best here. Well, and probably mentality or mentally, he probably thinks that. I don't know for
Under a
sure, but
blanket.
Right, but these
Yeah.
guys are driving like it is Talladega right
3
now.
wide for the lead.
Oh, King makes it 3 wide out of 4. He's going to lead that lap.
well, you know who's loving this though? Not only D-Blood, but Toaster. He's starting to catch back up, as well as maybe even
Yes.
Nick and Tuck.
Yep, absolutely.
Toaster's been very close. He hasn't lost him all that much, but he's stayed very close this whole time.
So you also got to give props to D-Blood. It looks like he, instead of making the issue worse, he's just stuck to the back bumper. That too is just pushing him down the backstretch, just trying to keep their line
Well,
moving.
Not now.
Well, he was.
James Snow is recovering from some type of spin.
Oh, hold it down there, buddy. Don't come back up the track.
And here comes 51 around 88. Oh, Tennessee looks like it was a little bit slow coming out of turn 4, and it looked like the 51 got the back bumper of him. As King Henry is taking the lead again.
Yeah, and he's not only taking it, he's kind of starting to pull away from these guys as they are beating and banging and battling. But Pierce, let's see what he can do. Can he run back down our leader here?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I've gave a lot of credit to Pierce this race, but something tells me that D-Blood might have the same speed as Pierce, if not maybe even be a little quicker. He's been putting so many. Yeah, he's stuck right with him, and at times when he's been kind of far behind him, he's caught back up to him. So unless there's something wrong with the Duke truck, the 88 has nearly the same amount of speed as him. But do they have the same amount of speed as the 16 right now?
I think they
But
do.
also, I think they do, but also, I think the 88 might be possible he has a little bit more speed. As much as he's been on his back bumper pushing without actually trying to pass, whenever they were 3 wide, he stayed right there on his bumper. He could have pushed the issue and possibly gotten the lead, like right just now coming through 3 and 4.
Yeah, and with this,
left that bottom line open, and D-Blood did not take it.
Right, and the thing is too, like this isn't a short track like Bristol or Martinsville, but this track still is kind of short, and in turn, draft isn't that much of a factor here. So with that being the case, like he didn't get close up to the true truck by draft. He closed up to him by speed itself.
Yep.
And also, you got to remember, especially at short track racing, you got to remember the old saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Who knows? The 2 and the 88 might have said, hey, listen, let's just work together. Let's just put all this other stuff that happened, the bump in the past. Let's just hang on, make sure it's you and me, and we'll get back to it at the end.
Oh, there's a lot of traffic coming ahead, though.
Yes, there is.
Looks like Bugstopper and even Sports Legend is in front of him.
Yeah, like I was saying a couple laps ago, these guys were all involved in a little bit of an incident once the 24 lost it through the tri-oval. So, yeah. Oh, Bugstopper's going to have to save it again there a little bit as he's trying to get out of their way.
Yeah.
Don't go back up the track, buddy. Oh, he's going to lose it through 3 and 4. Just about took out the 52.
Oh, he did take out the 52.
Oh, did he?
I said the 52 spin it.
Man.
Yep, that's going
Caution is out at the line.
All right.
Ooh, they're gonna be just able to make it. They cross with when they're crossing here, it's gonna be with 29 to go.
They can just make it then.
Yeah, they can just make it.
So they were actually getting ready
sure.
to make green flag pit stops anyway. So this actually comes out perfectly.
Yeah. What the heck is this Pierce guy doing? Man, trying to mow the grass? Like, you're not gonna get paid for this, buddy.
Hey, maybe he's just being nice to the track.
Oh, Nick's gonna lose it now. What is happening?
Nick, wrecking under caution. What else?
How
are
do
we
you
gonna
wreck
see?
under caution, Nicholas? How do you manage to do that? It ain't like I'm in the damn race to wreck
Nobody
you.
else can.
Look, didn't this happen like last week? If I'm not mistaken, this happened at Indianapolis last week. It did, and it brought out a freaking game caution at the end of stage 2.
If Nick does not actually wreck under caution, then it's not Nick driving.
You ain't wrong. Whether it's me wrecking him or him wrecking by himself, he's gonna wreck one way or the other.
Yeah. These guys are down pit road now. Also, something that it looks like 10 lost some positions to Topster and Nick before the caution came out.
I'm sorry, I didn't really hear what you were saying. I was listening to race control. What was that?
It looks like 10 lost 2 positions before they crossed the start-finish line to Topster and Nick, so Topster ended up being 4th. Which, like I said, it seems like he's been showing us some speed at this track as well. And then obviously, Nick got 5th.
Right, and look at D-Blood coming out in 2nd there. Nick's going to come out in 4th or 5th once they get this figured out. He's he's going to get spun. What the fuck?
I think that's more a
he's gonna come
game.
out in 4th. Yeah, that was a game. Oh, Jesus, Nick. Why don't you wreck the field?
Tell him just because I'm in the booth does not mean I'm on the track. He don't have to be looking for me.
Yeah.
He was bad about finding me under caution for no reason.
Yeah, these guys can make it just to the end on fuels. The 22 is going to get another lap back.
Wait, was that not his first?
I don't think so.
I don't know. It looks
They're
like
not
they're
going
gonna
this lap, though.
Yeah, they're in no way, shape, or form even formed up.
No.
They're back single file.
Hey, tell Nick to brake check Tennessee right quick.
Quality content right here. Let's see if he does it. I'm waiting for it. Wait.
And there goes Bucks. Huh?
I don't know what
I
happened.
don't know what's happening right now.
This ain't NASCAR. I'm sorry, but this ain't a long alliance with
And there
NASCAR.
goes the
rules.
22
Okay.
getting another lap back.
Wait, another lap?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just passed everybody again.
All right, well, there goes James
oh.
getting 13 laps back.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, you just power
they're
drive
lining
the
it up.
88.
They're getting ready to go this lap. Let's get back up to the front here with the 88 of D-Blood on that inside, the 16 of King Henry picking the high line, which King Henry, like you said, definitely looks to have a short-run truck. So they have got
he made some
27 to go, I think, this time.
Oh,
The green flag.
16 with a
Oh.
hell of a jump. It looks like the 88
He
was
did
not
not.
paying attention. I ain't seen a
26
restart
to
that
go.
bad since Jimmy Johnson at Dover.
You ain't wrong when he took out half the field. When he missed his
Unfortunate.
shift. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, when something broke or whatever in his car.
I was there for that race. That was a crazy one.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
Junkyard on
you-
the front stretch.
meanwhile, Topster is battling for second with Pierce as a result of all this.
Yeah, Topster looking to take full advantage of everything that's going on. D-Blood falling back to 4th, slides up in front of Nick, barely clearing. Nick, I thought was going to try to take it to the inside of D-Blood, but one able to make it there with Tennessee on that left rear quarter panel. But Nick,
Yeah, they put Tennessee in the apron as well.
I mean, sometimes you got to do what you got to do sometimes, you know? I mean,
Yeah, especially when it's 10. Who cares? You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Pierce.
It's not quite on the inside yet.
Oh, the 88 to 51 definitely racing hard for that third spot.
The 1 and the 52 are bumping side, whatever the side of their trucks, whatever they're called, as well. Insurance
checking.
fall. Yeah, they're basically door checking each other.
Oh.
Pierce coming
I think
right
s-
back on that inside line for the lead.
It looks like Henry has the strong truck on the outside, but it does look like Pierce has the strong truck on the inside. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see which one prevails.
Yeah, right now they're probably right now the battle of the titans for this race. Like these two are gonna be they're gonna be battling with each other, but it's most likely gonna be for the lead. These two trucks are probably the fastest, unless Deep Blood gets around 51 and makes a case for himself.
All right, that 51's looking pretty good right now. Looks like he's made some adjustments, got his truck kind of figured out, and
Yeah.
it don't look like he's wanting to go away right now. So we'll have to see.
You like it, unless he hits this wall, then you don't like it, but
Yeah.
it doesn't look like he did.
Hey, I've hit the wall, and my truck start running better. Who knows?
Hey, same thing happened with the 22 this race, so you know what? Who knows?
I'm sorry?
I have no idea.
But here comes Pierce on the bottom, side-by-side drag race to the line.
Oh.
He is making
88,
that
51.
bottom line work as D-Blood just really door-checked the 51.
Man, we have two very good battles right here on our hands. And with the Ford truck even lurking behind battle for third.
top 5 right here under a blanket. They've separated themselves from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, I think
And
the
it
three
looks like
trucks really
Nick's
holding up the back
trying to-
half of this field.
It could be.
I'm
he's
not
got
saying he
Kurt
is,
on
but
the
I'm not
bumper.
saying he isn't either.
Well, I don't completely know. I personally think Tuck is struggling a lot in this race, and he might be holding up the people behind him as well, potentially. Nick, on the other hand, he might be holding up the one. Who knows? But the one
Nick's
and
being
the
Nick.
3. Yeah, Nick's being Nick, and then you have Gordon here.
Yep.
Looks like actually about to complete the pass on Nick as well, and he did. So we'll see if Gordon will be able to pull away from the 3.
Yeah, and we were talking about Gordon pre-race. You know, he comes into this race finding himself below that cutoff as the 24s around out back.
Ooh, the two almost almost put himself on the wall using the bumper of 16 truck, but that didn't happen at least.
88's right on the 16th bumper now, so this has turned into a 3-way battle for the moment. With the 51 and the 4 can catch their teammates, so they shouldn't really race each other too hard, should they?
I mean, who knows?
But then again, we've had teammates battling in NASCAR on the last lap for 3 races to start this season.
We
So
ain't talking about that.
Yeah, then because
Ryan Blaney failed.
I hate
Yeah.
Cindric. You know, and I hated Cindric even before that. Even back when he was in the Xfinity series. I was not a big fan of him. He was extremely cocky and arrogant. And I was never a big fan of him. And
You
yeah,
you gotta have a swagger to you.
I get that, but I'm not saying the dude cannot drive. He can. But there's no denying the only reason he is there is because of his father. You know?
Yeah, but he's shown that he can, for sure,
You can hang
hold
though.
that. Yeah.
And plus, Ronnie, you'd wreck your own mother to win Daytona 500. Don't lie.
I'm not saying I wouldn't, but there's a difference. I mean, when he did it twice in one weekend, that's when I kind of have a little bit of an issue with it. But I don't know.
I'll tell you who's not having any issues at all right now is that 2 truck. He passed the
Yes.
16. And while
I
he's
said
not
that
completely
inside.
pulling away, he's not completely pulling away, but I guess, he is making a little bit of a gap between him and the 16 truck, so it's still there. Also, do not mind the ambulance or police or whoever's out there. Trust me, I'm not getting shot up or anything. Oh, well, okay then.
Nope.
Yeah, definitely the 2 truck has found a way to make that inside work while everybody else seems to be trying to run the high line or that middle line, trying not to wear their tires down. Pierce has definitely got that inside line figured out.
Yeah.
I want to mention, I don't mean to interrupt you, Ronnie. I just want to mention, last season, he dominated this race. This season, he's not. But that might honestly be a factor because these 2 trucks weren't also competing as well. So it's also kind of great to see him challenging the 2 truck.
Right.
88's
Here
following
comes
that
Deep
2
Blood.
truck, though.
That 88's been battling with that 16 truck for a while.
Yeah.
He has speed.
Oh!
He has race-winning speed, and yep.
Ooh, throw the
Man.
block. Honestly, I think that's one of the few times I've seen Henry come off that top line tonight.
Yeah, he's not really came off that top line that much at all. That could be his fall, if that makes sense. Especially in turns 3 and 4, that is not necessarily the place to be in any part of the run at all. Maybe he's starting to go back down to the bottom though. Who knows?
We'll have to see because it looks like 3 and 4, the 80. Looks like 16's getting a run on the high line coming out of 1 and 2, but it looks like D Bloods and the 88's getting a run on the bottom coming out of 3 and 4.
Right.
So
God
it's
bless.
definitely going to be interesting to see.
Absolutely, and with
Because
coming to 9 laps to go here in stage number 2, I mean, the 88's going to get
And
impatient at some
88.
point. I mean, the 16
They already
isn't
got
even
it.
battling for the championship. The 88 is. So at some point, if you're
Yeah,
D-Blood, you
got it.
got to use that bumper and get around him. Which he has
did right now. Yeah,
We'll see if he can stay with the 2. I mean, Ooh,
or even catch up to
16
him. But the 22's in front of him now. Let's see if he can, if he will pull side or. I mean, he's in the playoffs, so I wouldn't see why he wouldn't battle. But at the same time, though, I don't know with how his truck has been handling and looking it. I don't know if I would necessarily try to hold up the leaders.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time he did it.
It would not be the first time, no, not at all. But We'll see what
Pierce
happens.
leading, D-Blood second, King Henry is third. It looks like Tobster and Tennessee will round out your top fives. We've got Gordon Tuck battling out for 6th and 7th right now.
Oh boy, James Snow's not gonna make this easy, is he?
Oh, he's going to be right in D-Blood's line coming out of 2.
Yeah, I mean it happens sometimes. Like that's not really much the fault of James Snow.
No,
It's
not at
just
all.
how they caught up.
No, not at all.
So that's honestly how I expect some of these playoff drivers to get out their way. They'll let them pass by, but they're not gonna. If they're they're gonna be taking the line. It's what it is.
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly. Like you'll be out their way, but if
what
you take
makes
the line
this-
on accident, it is what it is.
And that's what makes this sport so entertaining. Like I said earlier, other sports, when the playoff starts, those who didn't make it, they're sitting at home watching, or they're on a beach in Maui, or on a yacht somewhere in the South Pacific doing whatever. While these guys are still battling, still trying to prove themselves, week in, week out, that they belong here.
Exactly.
So let's see if this 88 can catch that tube truck. It looks like he's closed the gap a little bit. We've got about, 5 laps to go?
How many laps are left? 4 laps to go this time by.
Oh, I was off by 1.
Yeah. So completely random, but I've just realized that Jay Black's scheme is kind of almost. I want to say almost looks like a team effort throwback to the 48. I could be most definitely wrong, but either way, it looks kind of good.
And Pierce has got a mirror full now of the 88 and the 16.
Oh, 24 is down pit road. Unless he lagged out, but he's on pit road.
With 3 laps to go. That's an interesting call there by the 24.
I don't unless he's sped, he might actually be
Oh,
out.
big lag by the 88.
Yes, I've seen that too. As we're coming to 2 to go
Yes, sir.
in stage 2
Can
with the
Pierce-
2 truck leading.
Can Pierce hold him off and win stages 1 and 2?
Yeah, I don't think this lap traffic is gonna completely
Oh no! It's
Oh,
the
and 20 and Jay Black. 22 hits
He
him.
catches the 22.
the 4. Oh wow, never mind. This might be a game caution. I don't
It
know.
is not. King Henry is going to win stage 2. Or no, this is white flag. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is white flag.
Yeah, bug stopper in a way. Will someone use him to try to set a pick? Will he get out the way? I don't think he'll try to get out the way. I mean, he's in the playoffs. Why get out the way? There'd be no reason to.
Right, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah,
he's back there battling Gordon and James Snow. But the 16 of King Henry is going to put an end to Pierce winning, and he is going to take stage number 2, and D-Blood holding on for 3rd. But while these
As
guys...
the 22 still sitting sideways.
Yep, on a different part of the track too. So this is like a separate incident. This is interesting.
All right, we was talking about how Henry looks like he had a short run truck while everybody else had the long run truck. It looks like he found his adjustments.
Yeah.
And has definitely put an end to that.
Yeah. But at the same time, though, it's like he has a good long run truck, but it's not like it's that much better than Pierce or D-Blood. Like this is going to be an interesting 3-way battle for this race, unless someone else could step it up and get this help go into the battle with them, make it 4 or maybe even 5.
Absolutely. And real quick, while we're under caution, just a quick little info. I just sent you the link, Keystone, but we now have an official NEXXTCAR Discord channel. So, link will be in the description for these videos, so make sure you guys check it out. Yeah, we finally are moving on from Facebook Messenger, finally getting into the updated Discord, so yeah.
Yep.
An interesting time here for the league.
Yep, another thing that was moving on is the engine, the 24 truck. It looks like he's going to be out of the race with a blown engine.
Yes, he is, but green flag is in the air for stage number 3. Pierce. The 22 and someone else. I think that's Buckstopper hard into the outside wall. The 22 just completely missed the turn and drove Buckstopper up into the outside wall. And they are stacking up big time in the bottom line.
Two just.
Whoa.
He just put the block on that 16, but he's trying to go in with the crossover.
Yeah.
Now, will he try to do the slide job?
Yeah,
that's the real question.
Not going to work out too well for Pierce here unless he can do a crossover as well. And he's going to.
No, he had it. He hit the wall coming off turn 4 of the last lap.
Actually, not on his screen. Yeah, on our screen it looked like he did, but not on his. I'm watching his stream to get like laps and some other info, but he did it on his screen, which is, I mean, that is, I guess, part of the sport. We see it differently than what they do. That's 22 nearly hits the wall if he didn't.
He has been every lap since this restart.
Yeah, like a little bit of wall banging, it looks like. I'll just keep it real here. It seems like a little bit of wall banging. I don't know. Not that time, though. Not this time.
But Nick, in that number 3 truck, now finds himself way back here behind the leaders, running in the 8th position. Now we hear the ambulance running.
Yeah, trust me, I'm not getting a shot at it. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, Nick finds himself in 8th as now Tuck is starting to pull away from him. He has worked his way, I believe, up to the 5th position, if I'm not mistaken, battling for the 5th.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with Hopster, but yeah, I guess he was behind him, and now he's past him again, but Tuck is not giving up yet. That blue 52 Toyota is looking to make his mark here in this stage. I don't know if you get that reference, Ronnie, but
I do.
Yeah.
He's definitely
Unfortunate.
Parked the top 5. Because it looks like Tennessee has shifted his line to the high line after he was running mainly on the bottom that last stage.
Yeah, he's keeping up with D-Blood and the other two for sure.
Absolutely. We have got a, once again, side-by-side battle for the lead here between King, Henry, and Pierce. Is Old School racing? Yes, Old School is racing. He is currently running in the 9th position, it looks like, back here in the 11 truck.
Yeah. The 22, I think, just slammed into the wall again.
I'm sorry, he's in the 9th position.
You said that.
Oh, I thought I said 11th.
No, you said 9.
Oh.
I'll be honest with you, it almost seems like the 2 and the 16 truck are neighbors with how side by side they've been being this whole race.
Yeah, they're definitely in a league of their own tonight.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird because I've said that D-Blood has the same speed too, and granted, he's not side by side anymore, but they've been pulling away from them two, or
but
from him, unless
seems to come in at the later portion of the run. Too.
Yeah, it does definitely seem. That's what I was gonna say. It seems like his truck is more long run based, which.
And seeing how there's only been 2 cautions aside from the stage breaks, so having your vehicle set up for long runs right now, the way the pattern's been going this race, isn't exactly a bad thing.
No,
exactly.
Not at all. And Pierce is going to clear King. He's going to slide up in front of him here coming out of 2. But this is about the cleanest, Dale. We have seen these two drive all season long with each other.
Yeah, no. It's honestly some of the most cleanest racing we've seen with the 16, if I'm being honest. Like, granted, last week in Indy was honestly relatively clean for him, so I'll give him props for that.
But it's
the other races haven't been that. It's playoffs.
You want to clean up your act a little bit. You want to put on a show for everybody. It's playoffs. It's time to get real. So, I mean...
Yeah, and not only that, the 16's not in the playoffs. He joined the league too late, so he's not in it. And he knows Pierce is, so maybe there's also that respect factor there, too.
Oh, absolutely, and it's definitely good to see. I mean, yes, he can still go out there and absolutely 100% battle for that win, but do it cleanly when you're battling guys that are fighting to move on to the next round, so it's good to see him actually racing clean. And like you said, he was extremely clean last week at Indy, which I'll be honest, if Tuck was blocking me as aggressive as he was King, if I was King, that would definitely be the time to put that front bumper to him. No doubt about it.
Yeah, but I mean, it is what it is. I don't know. Maybe he tried, he didn't. I don't remember. But yeah, D-Blood's caught to the 16. So like you said, Keystone, D-Blood definitely seems to be having that long run car, and yeah, he is most definitely proving your point right.
Let's see how long it's going to take him to get around that 16, though, if you can.
Yeah.
You want to get to the front as quick as you can, but also battling the side-by-side, you burn them tires up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, we've seen Deep Blood, just stay behind someone for a lot of this race. But something tells me a part of that was also he might not have a truck that's very good for passing trucks, at least these guys. Mm-hmm. So there could be that factor as well. But yeah, you have to go. This is stage 3. You have to go right now.
Right, absolutely. Especially when you have that opportunity right now in front of you. I know we've talked about it several times now, but next week's Talladega, anything can happen. So you've got to take advantage of it right here, right now, while it is in your hands and in your eyesight. D-Blood's got to get by him, get these positions here, and try to get up there and battle for that win. We're not doing that win and then you're on to the next round. So every point matters.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like he's starting to get that run on the coming off of 1 and 2 on the inside, just like he's been doing on that inside of 3 and 4. So I don't know, maybe King Henry did a little bit too much adjusting.
Yeah, it could.
He's still there.
It could. I think it's also part of the fact with how long in the run they are. Just over 15 laps, if I had to guess. The outside lane is starting to probably fade a little bit with how long in the run they are. So I think that probably plays a part in it. I think King Henry is still making a very great job with, or doing a very great job with being on the high side still.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, I don't know. I do know one thing though. The 2 is most definitely loving this battle between the 88 and 16 truck.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Let's talk about this real quick. Through everything that has happened right now, guess who finds themselves battling once again for the 5th position? Nick and Tuck. These two just cannot get away from each other. Not only tonight, but this entire season long.
Yep. It's been like that, but someone might be trying to crash that party in the 51 of Topster.
And D-Blood has cleared King Henry now for 2nd, so now D-Blood can set his sights on trying to run down that 2 truck. Like I said earlier, I know D-Blood knows how to get it done here at Iowa. He got it done a couple weeks ago, so he's definitely a guy that as these closing laps, as they are now on coming to 56 laps to go here in the race, he's going to be one that we know he can close out these races. He has yet to really be able to do that this season so far, but definitely looking forward to getting that done here tonight, as he does not have a win yet this season.
That means 52 to go. That means 28 have laps already
56
passed.
To go.
56. Okay, so that's 24 laps passed in this in this stage. So they should be close to making green flag pit stops.
This should be decently close for sure. I was gonna say though, I wonder how much this battle between the 88 and 16 kind of burnt their tires up a little. Because the 88 doesn't. Yeah, the 16 is right there with them, but not only that, it seems like the 2 truck is still kind of pulling away from them. So they might have battled just long enough to not really much, start gaining on the 2 truck a little.
And how early do you pit here? Because we're within 60, so we're within, the 2 stops.
Right.
Yeah.
So honestly, I'm probably pitting within the next 2 or 3 laps. I want to be one of the first ones on, get that fresh tires on that 1 or 2 laps that everybody else is staying out, and make up as much time as can.
Yeah, and on Iowa, there's not the tire difference isn't all that much.
No.
Like it gradually is different, or gradually, you gradually get slower every lap. But when you're talking about tires that are like a few laps separated, it's not that big of a difference. So being one of the first ones to pit is still, pretty important.
We see the 16 and 88 catching up to the 2 truck a little bit here now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if the 2-truck just doesn't have the speed on the longer parts of it, or if he was just making mistakes. But yeah, they're starting to catch up. A little.
Yeah, and someone
meanwhile,
kind
though,
of caught in no man's land right now is that 4-truck running in 4th position. Tennessee,
Yes.
he's not catching the guys in front. He's not really losing a whole lot of ground, and he's not falling back to the group behind him of the 52, the 51, and the 3. So he's kind of got himself right here in a pretty comfortable position in 4th, but still finds himself in that no man's situation.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
I picked you tonight, you little turd.
I will say, though, at least for Tennessee, with them being the regular season
Lost
championship.
it coming out of turn 4.
Oh, yeah. Wait, what happened?
You said what?
Oh, it's D-Blood? D-Blood's in pit road.
The 20 truck lost. Oh, green flag pit stops have begun.
Yeah, the 20 lost it. He got it back. I don't know if he spun, but yeah, the 88 went down pit road. So it'll be very interesting to see how everything cycles down and if he'll be the leader.
Right, and it
Yeah,
looks
so
like here comes somebody right now. I'm trying to get up there. Come on.
2 cars pitting.
The 2, okay,
pitting.
yeah, that's who it was. I thought I saw someone slowing way down on the backstretch, but that leaves King Henry out here. When does he come down?
Oh, it's got to be this lap. You don't want to get too off cycle.
Right. But it don't look like he's coming this time by as he's running that high line here through 3 and 4. He's going to stay out.
22's down pit road, I think. Yeah, 22's down pit road.
All right, here comes 88 is off, back on the back stretch, so I'll stick with the 88 as this cycles around.
The 51 looks to be on pit road as well.
And Tennessee stayed out as well.
Yeah, I think, honestly, with 10, I think he's more they're trying to do what the other 2 of Pierce and D-Blood are doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's more why he's staying out, but obviously with King staying out still, it doesn't help.
And
I think Touches went down pit road.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, the 88 has probably got about 5 or 6 links on the 2 truck now just by pitting 1 lap before.
Here comes the 16 coming now. Does the 4 follow? It's looking like he is. Yes, he is.
I gotta say that
I think they have to.
Yeah.
D-Blood is definitely going to be your leader.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
they gave up a ton of track position. As I heard, a bunch of metal crack.
11 the 1 just nearly gave 11 an ass pack as 11 was trying to go down pit road, and 1, I don't think he knew. 11 just went below the apron to avoid the 1 truck, though. Or I guess if 1 just, missed the 11 truck. That could have been it. But,
and it may not seem like it with this being such a small track, but this is one of the longest pit roads that there is, going 40 mile an hour.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
It sucks. This pit road is horrible.
Yeah. E. Henry just leaving pit road. D-Blood already passed him.
Yep.
Pierce is about to pass him right now. Yeah. He's going to lose
And
a
here
lot
comes
of
the
time.
52. He's trying to work his way back up there. He's not going to get to King, but now he finds himself on the back bumper of Tennessee.
Oh, 88 in the wall coming out of turn 4 trying to run that high line.
J-Black's coming out of pit road. I don't know how many laps down he is. I think he's probably on the lead lap still, but he's about to get lapped down by the leaders right here. Yep.
Yep, and he's
Just
going
went
to
left
get
down.
cleared. But here comes Pierce on those fresher tires. Can he run down D-Blood? He does have that lap truck right here in between them of Jay Black. So that's going to make things a little interesting here.
Yeah, but also, it could go interesting as to block him, but it'll also be interesting as to is the 20 truck faster since he's on even fresher tires than both him and D-Blood. So who knows, he might be faster, or what it seems like to be, Pierce is going to have to try and pass him.
Oh yeah, because like I said, you're fighting for yourself, whether you're in or out of the playoffs in contention or not. You still want to put up a battle. If you're the first one right there a lap down, you want to do your best to get that lap back just in case your caution does come out. That way you don't start tailing in the field.
By the way, Buckstopper went down pit road, and he was actually the leader. But with them passing pit road just a little bit ago, they finally claimed back to the lead, and thus the cycles fully came through.
as the 2-car gets around him.
You gotta make quick work, especially with the 16 back there. I mean, the 16 being on fresher tires, not necessarily than a 20, but then the other two. It will. You want to make as much ground on deep as you can, and also make quick work of lap traffic as you can. It looks like though the 2 truck is starting to catch the 88 a little bit.
That's going to be the tricky part because it looked like that 20 was, it looked like he was favoring that high line there for a little while, and we know that's the line that King Henry's been running most of the night. So it's going to be interesting to see if he continues to run that high line or if he moves down and gives it to him.
Yeah. That might be just moving down low because he's running that line right now. But same as King Henry though, so that's interesting.
Yeah, and someone who's really struggling right now, we're getting word off that the number 4's pit box, and he is extremely tight right now.
Yeah, he's battling with Tuck right now. Let's be honest, Tuck hasn't had the fastest truck all day. He is struggling, even with tires that are supposed to be fresher.
See, this is what happens when I pick him to win.
And he's into the wall, heading into turn number 1 and 2. Yeah, he is struggling big time right now.
As the
the 52's going to make contact with him.
Oh.
Yeah. Meanwhile, though, the 52 truck is pulled away from the 51 and the 3 truck a little bit, though. So maybe he found a teeny bit of speed? A teeny bit more speed, at least, which would most definitely help. Meanwhile, though, the 20 looks like to be going out the way of the 16 truck. So it looks like he's not going to have that much difficulty getting around him. But the 2 truck has caught the 88.
Yep. As it looks like the 4 truck is not going to give that spot to Tuck willingly.
You know, something I really want to talk about is, I don't know if you guys saw that there through 1 and 2, but J Black driving it pretty deep there, actually getting to the inside there of King Henry a little bit, kind of slowing him down a little bit. So he's not just pulling away, letting these guys by either.
I mean, he's in the playoffs. I mean, absolutely. You want to make as much ground as you can, especially if someone from the lead lap gets a lap down. You want to be right there to pass them. You can't afford it, like Keystone said earlier. You cannot afford to, like, stay a lap down. You know, I think Buckstopper is trying to pass him. I don't know if they're on the same lap or not.
I don't know. That's why we need
and they're both in the
playoff in this game.
That's true. That is very true.
They promised us 3 years ago we'd get a leaderboard. Here we are, still waiting on it.
Yep.
Yeah. It is what it is, though.
The game that was supposed to replace this turned out worse than the first game.
You ain't wrong. That's exactly why we are staying on Heat 5 for quite a future to come, unless we see when they release the next game. Before I buy that game, I'm going to have to see some extensive gameplay. Actual gameplay, not generated gameplay.
I'm lucked out because my paychecks used to hit on Tuesday, a day before everybody else's, because my bank pushed things through quicker than, I guess, everybody else's banks. Mm-hmm. So I had NASCAR, I had the new game, Championship Edition, pre-order on Amazon. And that Tuesday, the day that the game was supposed to release for those who pre-ordered it, my check was not in my account yet, and it canceled the pre-order. And then I seen all the reviews from that game. It's like, thank you, bank. Thank you.
Saving you some money. Yes. You gotta love it.
Oh, yes. I was glad that day.
But something that is happening right now is Pierce in the 2 has run down D-Blood in the 88. You know, Pierce has got those fresher tires, but he has run down D-Blood, and we are fixing to see a great finish here at Iowa, if these guys can manage to stay green.
The last 5 or 6 laps, it don't look like he's gotten any closer. He's been there for a few laps, but 31. It doesn't look like he's closing all that much until now.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, it doesn't even completely look like King Henry is closing all that much either. Which I only bring that up because if that's going to be the case, then it's just going to be battle between 2 truck drivers. And like I mentioned before, what happened at Michigan, I'm sure Pierce probably still has that on his mind. Yeah. So maybe payback?
I mean, we know it's still on his mind. You don't put a post-race interview out there like Pierce did and it not be on your mind still. No doubt about it. So, yeah Pierce is going to be looking to make some evens here.
Yeah, you cannot, like, try to be like Kyle Busch in post-race interviews and, like, not do it on the track when it comes to revenge. You just can't do it.
If I'm the 16 truck, I want to try to be the first one on pit road this time.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Because you saw how well it worked out for these guys ahead of you. So, yeah, you've got to try to be the first one.
Now.
There he goes.
Now. So, yes, this is definitely going to get interesting now.
Let's see just what kind of a ground he picks up.
Seeing that he pitted, do these guys pit now?
You have to.
Might as well.
You can't let him get that far ahead of you. But it doesn't look like they are coming this time. No, they are not.
No. I think they might be able to afford it. They're coming to 27 right now.
And they had a decent-sized lead on him. So, yeah, I think they're just kind of trying to play that buffer board a little bit here.
Yeah, and if they pit right now, then them not pitting last lap will be okay. But it is what it is.
It looks like Pierce might be coming this time. No. He just looked extremely slow going into 3, but...
Yeah, I think he tried not going on the inside of 88. It looked like he was about to, and then just pulled away. Meanwhile, though, you have the 22 back up the front.
Yeah,
also, J-Black went down pit road as well. I just got that out of the corner of my eyes. Also, the 52 has gone around the 4 truck. The 51 actually has gone around the 4 truck as well. It's looking to pass the 52 for what's probably going to be 4th. As the 2 truck nearly loses it coming off the corner. And the 3 truck's battling with them now.
Imagine that. The 52 and a 3.
Pit road.
Yeah, these guys are going to have to pit soon.
Yeah,
they have to.
They're going to start losing more than gaining.
Yeah, I don't know why they're staying out. Unless they're hoping for a caution, but even then, why?
Here comes Pierce.
Honestly. Yeah, Pierce is doing the smart thing to do.
Stays out, so if you're Deep Blood, you've got to come this time. There is no doubt about it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, look at this truck pack here. There's a 4 truck pack for right now that's going to be 2nd. 51, 52, 4, 3 trucks there. The 20 who's on fresher tires is going to be there as well, even though not on the same lap, but still.
Yes, here comes the 88 now.
Yep. Don't speed, and he did not.
Oh, contact a little bit with the 51.
They are not pitting either. Oh my god.
Wow!
They are like,
save it, Tennessee!
He did.
Big save by the 4.
51 got
the 20, the 51 up into the outside wall. Nick taking advantage of it in the 3.
Two just got out of pit road. There is such a big gap, if I'm not mistaken, between the 16 and the 2 truck right now. It's not even funny. It is from what I'm reading on Pierce's stream, it is nearly a 7-second gap between King Henry and Pierce.
Yeah, those two stayed out way too long.
Yes,
they did. And D-Blood looks like he's coming out of pit road right now. Pierce is going to get around him, it looks like. As long as Gordon doesn't screw up. Yeah. He didn't lose that much time to D-Blood, but they should have hit it like a lot sooner. I don't know why they stayed out.
Yeah, no, they really kind of screwed themselves on that. But let's take a quick replay here of the save by Tennessee Titan through the tri-oval. I thought we got... Yep, it's going to be switching to it right here. As you can see, a big 4-truck battle here. And then the 51 just got loose heading into the tri-oval, and a big save by Tennessee in the 4. So, huge elbows up driving by him, and now he finds himself ahead of the 16.
Elbows up or thumbs up?
Nick is coming to pit road this time in a 3-truck.
Now, we'll say in 2 laps, Pierce has made up a second on King Henry. The real question is, when will the tires even out? But he is making up time. I will say that.
Yeah, and Pierce has got D-Blood right behind him, so...
Yeah, I think there's...
D-Blood, this is where... Do you think you're far enough out that you're not going to catch him and start battling each other? Or do you still, hey, let's just hold off and see if we can catch him first?
I think you've got to try to catch them. As they're
Got
both
to.
into the wall coming out of 4, but I think you've got to try to catch them.
Yeah, I mean, he has lap traffic as well. This is going to slow him down even more. And yeah, 4.6 seconds away, around 5 seconds, somewhere like that. It's possible.
So basically,
Especially if he
lap
sees
and a
him.
half, they're cutting
He
it
can
down by
see
a
him.
second.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
can see him on the screen. I'm following the follow behind the overhead view.
Uh-huh.
You know, you can definitely see the 16 from the two trucks point of view. So he's definitely closing the gap.
Gordon finally made his trip down pit road as well. I think that's probably going to cycle up. No, Tugcat's not pitted yet either.
Yeah, these guys are just holding on for winging a prayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's still trying to hope for a caution.
With 16 laps to go, though, is there enough
Him and
time
10.
for these two to try to catch them?
Well, all I know is that
Yeah.
10 might be holding up to 16 a little bit. And yeah, I think he's just trying to. I don't know if he's trying to do that on purpose or what, but up there goes the 52 and the 4. Those are the last two drivers that needed to go down pit road.
But now the question is, can the 2 and the 88 run down the 16? He's got pretty much a clear track in front of him. He's got one truck up there. But other than that, he has got a clear
As they get
field
side
of
by
view ahead
side,
of him.
they said, nope, we ain't waiting.
You know, I don't know if I agree with that. You know, draft with the guy down the backstretch. Try to work with him. Work your way. You were catching King. So why get up there? Why get racy here as D-Blood, like you said, is trying to make it side by side here. Oh, contact
Yeah.
into 3.
That's not going to necessarily make Pierce, or yeah, Pierce is not going to feel happy about that. As he went down below the track. Now, this is just falling into King Henry's hands right here. 14 laps to go. It's possible.
Mm-hmm.
It is possible. They are 3.5 seconds behind. They made up a lot of ground on him. They just need to stay the course for a few more laps at the very least.
Yeah, but D-Blood is not about that.
Nope. Nope, he thinks it's go time. He thinks it's go time. I mean, it's not. I'm not the driver to do. So I'll just say I can't. I'm not mad about it, but it's honestly not the smartest idea. I'm gonna be straight up honest.
Not at all. I mean, yeah, this is a short track, but it doesn't race like a short track. So there is a little bit of draft that you get. So you've got to try and use that to your advantage, especially with King Henry having no one around him. So he's not getting any of that additional help. So you've got to try and use everything you can to run up and catch him. I don't know. You know, this has been an extremely clean season, so you can't rely on cautions, really. So
Yeah.
you just got to do everything you can to try to get up there.
And not only that, I'm just saying this because I've seen the times they've lost time when they're battling, which is not a surprise, but still, they've lost time. So it's just not helping their case at all, trying to get this lead. Also, one thing I want to mention, you see Tuck behind the 88 and 2 truck. He's actually a lap down.
Right.
He's not on the lead lap. Topster's actually 4th with Nick in 5th. But, yeah, 52 truck's actually a lap down. I think he may have gotten a speeding penalty, actually.
Yeah, he did, because he pitted with Tennessee. And yes, forgot to mention that. He did get a speeding penalty.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I guess all the hope is for the second and third place drivers now is that there's going to be a caution. Which, again, 2 seasons ago there was a caution, and then Ed brought another caution. So it's not out the realm of possibility, but like you said, Ronnie, this is a very clean season. There's not been many cautions. You cannot rely on it. And I think the 88 gave up a little too early.
Right.
Anytime the Nick's on the track, you have a chance for a caution.
Yeah, there's a chance, but you can't necessarily bank on it. That's what I'm more trying to get at.
Right, with 8 laps to go, you only have 3 more laps to get a manual caution. So it's getting slimmer and slimmer by the second here of us getting manuals. They are going to catch J Black here and get by him. Oh, J Black, contact with Pierce. That is
Yeah, I'd
going
have
to
hit the
drop
brakes.
Pierce big time.
I'd have hit the
Yeah.
brakes too.
That is not going to make Pierce happy. Once again, found himself battling for a possible second place victory. And once again, a little bit of contact may have just taken him out of it.
As it looks like Tuck
Uh-oh.
has
Disconnected. He just messaged in messenger chat that his power went out.
Who was that?
Tuck.
Oh, and
Electrical
52.
issues.
Okay.
Yeah, electrical issues. We'll call that. We'll just call electrical issues. Why not?
his wire
Guys,
harness
what you-
came loose.
Yeah.
5 to go this time, right?
You see, what I kind of find funny, I guess there's not that many laps to go. So I guess at this point, maybe it's okay to be battling it out with each other, but
Absolutely.
I don't know. There's 5 laps to go. There's no more manual cautions.
Yep, and that's
There's just not enough time to catch up to King, and yeah.
nope. That's what I was gonna say. Is it is now go time with 5 laps to go here at Iowa.
Pierce is bringing the 88 back to him, and something tells me a bumper might be used here. I don't know.
I don't know. Pierce isn't that kind of a driver, so I don't know. But like you said, Michigan, it's always going to be there in Pierce's mind. So, but he is running down that 88 truck, no doubt about it.
Pierce has said before that he races people how they race him, and while he's had clean run-ins with the 88, when they were battling, he might not took in that great to it, and also there was some contact between the two that the 88 kind of initiated. So I wouldn't be surprised if the bumper was used a little bit. Not to wreck him, he wouldn't wreck him, but maybe move him a little bit. Like, I don't know, to the outside wall. Nah, not that far, but,
3 to go.
It should be 3 to go.
3 to go this time, yep.
Yeah, barring any mistakes, King Henry should win this. No, 2 to go, actually.
Is it 2?
Yeah, it's 2 to go.
All right, well, 2 laps to go.
Alright, so here we come. 1 to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
We need a sponsor. Screw this.
I'm working on it.
Bets.
But yes, white flag is out here at the M&M's 200 in Iowa. King Henry joined the league late, was not a playoff contender, but that has not stopped him from getting 3 wins this season now. As he is going to come out of turn number 4, he is going to get it done at Iowa. D-Blood, the rookie, holds off Pierce for 2nd, and Pierce grabbing 3rd. Who is going to get 4th? I believe it's Tennessee in 4th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 10's in 4th. And Nick is going to get 5th. I don't know, something happened between Nick and Topster when that happened, but yeah.
Yeah, no, Topster, Nick put him in the wall, coming into the tri-oval.
Surely
Man.
not.
No way.
Yep, I know. It's hard to believe. But King Henry getting it done once again.
I just question though, like, why did they stay out as long as they did?
That's my
with
number
that
1
pit
question here in this post-race interview.
It better be.
I cannot, personally, I cannot comprehend why they would have stayed out that long, but we'll get that answer straight from the drivers' mouths.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't even get to see the same. Actually, I could see top 10 right here. Old School finished 7th, Gordon 8th, Buckstopper finished a lap down 9th, Jay Black finished 2 laps down 10th.
All right, well.
Old School. Wait, but no. James Snow. Oh my gosh, it would be James Snow.
All right, well, yeah, there you go. There's your fastest lap. But don't go anywhere. We are going to get your top 3 finishers in here for a post-race interview. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Cold at the touch, dead in the eyes. No signs of life no more. I put your love under the knife. Leave me to die here all alone. No signs of life no more, no. A crying dove may never fly. Black and white. Yeah. Black and white. Oh, 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 oh. Just black and white. No more.
Alright, welcome back here for the post-race interviews from Iowa Speedway. Let's get it started here with your race winner, King Henry. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, not much, man. Heart's pumping. Had to have a post-race smoke after that one. That one was intense.
Absolutely, yes, sir. Now, something I am really happy to see is you are not playoff contention, but that is not stopping you from going out here and winning these races. How does that affect you? Because next season you will obviously be playoff contention. Are you using these races here as a little bit of a quote-unquote practice round?
Honestly, the same thing I told you a couple weeks ago. I'm just trophy hunting, man. I'm going out here. I'm hunting. Like, second place, it might as well be dead last to me.
Absolutely, and you finished second back-to-back weeks, but now you're back up here in victory lane. So something I didn't exactly ask you last week, and I was thinking about it this week, is Tuck was blocking very aggressively. We've also seen you race aggressive. What made you not use the bumper to get by him last week at Indy?
New Hampshire, honestly. New Hampshire Cup. I totally used them up to get it to Cat, and I was trying to. I did give him probably way too many shots. Like I was getting in the grass basically every time I tried to pass him, putting the wall every time I tried to pass him. But I'm the new guy. He's quick. Literally Tuck is one of the quickest racers out here, and I'm trying to. I really wanted to get it clean, and that's why I'm so glad I was able to have this race with Pierce, because the entire race we raced clean. We weren't bumping each other. Pierce had his bottom line, I had my Larson line, and it was working, and it was fantastic. That's why I love this track.
Absolutely. That is a very respectable answer, no doubt about it. And yeah, you were making that high line work just as well as he was making that bottom line work. How were you able to make it work so well, especially with that seam up there? When your tires get low, it's very easy to spin it, but you were not doing that. How were you able to get it done up there?
Honestly, at the start of the race, I had the plan of running high 1, 2, low 3, and 4. And then I just realized no matter what I was doing on the bottom, Pierce was beating me. So I had to change it up. So I went up there to the top, and I basically just made that seam my apron. And I'm like, okay, well, that is the line. I need to put my left sides on. And there, after stage 1, when I finally, we had that short run at stage 1 that I loosened it up to, a half a round than I had done previously. And it was riding so good that it was great in the start of the run, horrible in the middle of the run, and then somehow at the end of the run it came back up until I got stage 2. So, the truck just happened to work up there, and I was lucky enough not to spin myself on the seam.
Absolutely. Well, you were making it work for you, no doubt about it. Congrats on the another win this season.
Thank you, man.
But let's move on to our second place finisher, D-Blood. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, man?
All right, so big question that we had up here in the booth. What made you and Pierce stay out as long as you did after King Henry made that final pit stop. You guys stayed out for probably another 3 or 4 laps there. What made you guys stay out so much longer?
I never even realized he pitted because after the first stop, I came out as the leader with Pierce second and Henry nowhere in sight. So I never even knew he pitted.
Okay, yeah, that'll make you stay out a little longer. Once you realized he pitted, is that when you made your way to pit road, or how much longer did you stay out after that?
No, like I said, I never even knew he pitted. I saw Pierce pull off the lap before I did, so I went ahead and followed Pierce because at that point, he was the only one I was racing.
I gotcha. So you won here a couple days ago in your league. Did you come into tonight with some very high expectations?
No, I did. Actually, I lost that one in my other league. I got there was a late race caution. I got trapped a lap down, but I like Iowa, and I kind of circled it. I wanted to have a good finish, so I don't have to worry about Dega next week. I don't like restrictor plate races. I feel like it doesn't really show off who's a good driver. It's just a bit of luck, whereas short tracks show who's a good driver. So, I prefer to try to rely on skill than rely on luck next week.
For sure, absolutely. Well, you put it all together here tonight to grab that second place finish. But let's move on to Pierce. What's going on, man?
How's it going?
All right, buddy. Now, we just heard from D-Blood. He had no idea that King pitted. Did you know?
To be honest, I seen him pit, and I honestly don't know why I didn't pit, because common sense that I says to pit, but I had set in my mind I was pitting with 25 to go, and that's what I stuck to. Obviously shouldn't have done it, but that's what I did.
Right. Now, another thing we talked about a little bit here was a little bit of payback there from Michigan with you and D-Blood. Now, I know you don't hold any grudges against him or anything, but when you're battling, I know it wasn't for the lead, but when you're battling for second, and right now we're in the playoffs where points matter now more than ever because it's not a win and you're on to the next round format, did that kind of play a little part in your mind there a little bit?
No, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to move a guy for second. For if it was me and him battling for the win, then maybe I'd have considered it. But I'm not going to move a guy over second place.
For sure, absolutely. That's very respectable. Once you realized you stayed out longer than King did you kind of think, all right, well, my race is done? And is that why you and D-Blood started battling really hard? Or what made you guys not work together to catch up to King?
Yeah, my hope was that we would have worked together a little bit better than we obviously did, because when we first came out, we were catching, he had like 6 seconds, I seen. We dropped it down pretty quickly. Then we started battling, and that's obviously where it stopped. We stopped gaining on him. So I kind of wanted to work together, and D-Blood and I obviously started battling me, and it didn't end up working out that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll just say at that point, I thought when we came out and we were cutting down on King, there again, I thought that he hadn't pitted, so Pierce and I were battling for the lead. So I thought at that point we were going for the lead because he still had to pit.
Oh, shit.
If I had known he was, had already pitted, I would have just kind of rode his line a little bit more.
Well, that answers a lot of our questions.
Yeah, it does. You ain't lying.
I was on 2 tires, just in case you guys didn't know in the booth.
Well, I kind of figured you were. I figured you'd fall off a lot more than you actually did.
The reason I fell off of you guys so much was I was saving my left sides as much as I possibly could, and that's why I pitted as soon as I knew I could make it. I went down pit road, that way my left sides and my right sides would be as close as they could possibly be, and that contributed to that.
I was about to say, after everybody else had done cycle through, I was like, oh crap, he took 2 tires. That's when I kind of realized what had happened.
All right. Well, next week, Talladega. Let's start off with your race winner. King, how do you feel about next week at Talladega?
Absolutely fucking awful.
At least you're honest.
I hate restrictor plates. I won my last one totally thanks to Gordon. Pushed me around 10 at the end, I think it was. Whatever. I can't even remember. There were so many races, but It was literally me, Gordon, and one other guy. He pushed me to the lead, and me and Gordon worked together. If I'm a good pusher, I can push anybody to the win, but when it comes to actually holding my line and leading the race, there ain't no way I'm going to win this race.
Mm-hmm. What about you, D-Blood? I know you hit a little bit on it.
Yeah, I could take them and throw them all in the daggum trash because there again, I just don't think they show any driving skill personally. All about luck, just sheer luck. I mean,
yep.
Ricky Stenhouse can win one. Anybody can win.
If Danica can lead one, anybody.
Yeah, right.
But hell, there's your perfect example. Danica sat on the pole for one. There you go.
Well, also, I think all that was set up. I think all that was set up because you look like 8 rookies in a row sat on the pole for Daytona.
Dillon, Elliott, Danica, fucking
Austin Dillon. I mean, everybody.
How about you, Pierce? How do you feel about tomorrow? Good God, next week.
Can we just skip Talladega and go somewhere else?
Well, if you'd have won, you may have been able to skip next week.
That's fair. No, I hate super speed. It's kind of to the point D-Blood kind of cut across it. It doesn't take a whole lot of skill. You just got to do this whole line and either push a guy or hope you get a good push. It's a pure crapshoot that relies honestly, it relies on luck, being at the right place at the right time. It doesn't involve a lot of skill. So
luck and how many people you have on your side.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure does.
I don't have many here, so I'm screwed.
Well, your friends are where you find them at super speedways, but Keystone and Dale, you guys got anything for our top 3 finishers here tonight?
Y'all just put on a hell of a show tonight. Y'all kept it clean. Good hard racing for literally the entire 200 laps, and hell of a job. It was great to see.
Yeah, very good racing. Even though there wasn't action-packed with the amount of cautions, it was also very action-packed with you 3 battling for the lead and pulling away from all the other drivers. Congrats, you guys deserve the top 3 finishes.
Absolutely, and before we close this out, Keystone, Nick said, miss you. Come back to racing with us, buddy.
I will see what I can do, but I got a few more things that I got to get worked out first.
Absolutely, yes, sir. But that is going to do it for us here at Iowa Speedway for the NEXXTCAR Truck Series. A great race put on by these guys. Like you said, 200 miles of nonstop action from the front of the pack all the way to the end. So these guys put on a heck of a show. Next Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, you will see these guys head to Talladega for race number 2 of the round number 1 for this cutoff here in this round. So you are not going to want to miss it. That's what I said, isn't it?
I thought you said tomorrow.
No, he said next week that time.
Oh, you did? Oh, damn.
Way to